Hey, my name's Jake Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're already seeing that the Renters' Rights Act might actually backfire a little bit. Now, I've got some data here that shows how many properties now are eligible to be rented for people with pets. This was something that the Renters' Rights Act was meant to help people. More people being allowed to have pets, landlords not being allowed to unreasonably decline pets at the property. But actually, this looks like it's backfiring. And in this video, I want to talk about a few other things that are also backfiring already from the Renters' Rights Act that actually aren't in the tenant's favour. So in this video, we're going to cover all the stuff that's happened already since the Renters' Rights Act was announced last year, the impact it's having on renters, and why this might not necessarily be bad news for landlords. But before we jump into this, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do subscribe to my channel over there and hit that bell notification. Join over 50,000 subscribers who get all the latest house price news, interest rate news, property investing tips, and much, much more. And help me get some views on this video. Your part in that is simple. All you need to do is smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really does help the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that does that. So, pets. Now, this is something that when landlords don't want pets, it really is making some landlords quit the market. Now, this isn't a big driver in landlords exiting the market, but it is bad. Now, if you are a landlord or you've been a landlord previously and you've had bad experiences with a tenant with pets, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear your stories and I might share some of those in future videos. But people have had bad experiences, from dogs weeing all over floors and ruining the floors and making it difficult to get the smell out of, to dogs eating door frames, ruining furniture, curtains and such like. And so lots of landlords don't want pets, but in the Renters' Rights Act and in the letter that you have to give your tenant if you're a landlord, it's called the information sheet. This is important you give this out. If you want a copy of this, if you're a tenant or a landlord and you just want to know what's going on, click in the description. But this states in here specifically about pets. What does it say? It says, keeping a pet. Here we go. From the 1st of May, you have the right to request to keep a pet. Your landlord cannot unreasonably refuse your request. If they refuse, they must inform you in writing and they should tell you the reason why. They'll need to consider each request on a case-by-case basis, and you can challenge the landlord's decision in court. Now, a lot of places, for example, leasehold properties, they can have clauses that say you can't have pets already in it. So that would mean that the landlord can just refuse them. Pet-friendly requests. Since the Renters' Rights Act, the amount of properties that say they will allow pets has dropped drastically. It's down 39%. That's a huge backlog, and drop even, and an own goal really. So the bill, that's sole goal is to help tenants have better rights, is actually backfiring. There now are significantly less properties that can have pets. Now, this is what a lot of people said to the government. This is what will happen. People will actually backpedal on this and not allow people to have pets. Because let's say a tenant asks to have a pet, you can have a reasonable reason, which you can go and find out what that includes yourself, and let them know, I'm not allowing you to have a pet because the property is too small, because it's in the lease that you can't have it, various different reasons that you can have, and legally, then the tenant can't have a pet. But now, up front, more landlords aren't ticking the box on Rightmove and Zoopla, Spare Room and these other places to say that people can have pets. So now if you're a tenant looking for somewhere to house your pet, you've got significantly less options. That's a problem. You've got significantly less options at the moment. So what are the other things in the Renters' Rights Act that I feel are backfiring on tenants? Well, the next one I think is going to be the biggest problem, and that's CCJs. So, why will more tenants get CCJs? Here's why. Because if you want to get rid of your tenant today, let's just say you've got a tenant that maybe they pay you late each month and it gets annoying and they might have built up some arrears, and so you want to get rid of them. Quite often, a landlord will give them a Section 21, a no-fault eviction. That gets rid of the tenant in 2 months unless they challenge it and stay, and then it goes to court. But a lot of people will just leave in that period of time. Now, that means that the tenant then moves on to another property, and often the landlord is never asked for a reference. I've never been asked for a reference from an old tenant. I don't know why, but I have never been asked. And so that is interesting, because then the tenant goes to that next property and they don't have a CCJ, because the landlord often just lets them off. They just let that rent go. They say it's not going to get, it's too much hassle to chase, 500 or 600 quid. It's going to take a year to go through the court. So they just write it off. Now they don't have an option, because there isn't Section 21. There's only Section 8, which will go to court. That means the tenants, more tenants that get evicted now, are going to end up with CCJs. Now, that means when they then go for a new property, when they go through the referencing, that is a check if they have a CCJ. And so they're going to find it much harder to get a property. They could also be seen as then making themselves homeless deliberately and not be able to get a council property. That means they could become homeless. That isn't good. But I think the councils really understand this, and I think the government really understand this. I think the tenants don't, and this is going to be a problem caused by the Renters' Rights Act that's meant to protect them. Next is supply. That's dropping. We have the same amount of rental properties today that we had in 2016. That's crazy. The population's grown. The amount of rental properties hasn't grown. That's also shrinking. There's loads of landlords quitting at the moment, giving Section 21s while they still can. So this is going to reduce supply. That means it's going to be harder to get a property to rent when you need it in the future. Not great. And the last thing is that it's going to be harder to pass screening. Landlords are going to be stricter. Where they might have taken a chance on someone before, they're not going to take a chance on them now, knowing that they might have to take them to the court, which could take them a year. So they are going to, rather than take someone and take a chance on them, and if it didn't work out, give them a Section 21, they're now going to be really strict, wanting to find the right tenant. And that means some tenants are going to find the screening process significantly harder. So this shows we're already seeing stuff from the Renters' Rights Act. A lot of it's not good for the landlords, but it's also not good for the tenants. The pet stuff shows in real terms that there are now less options for people that have got pets. And that isn't what this was designed to do. And I think in 6 months from now, in a year from now, it will look even worse than what it does today. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Do make sure you like the video and subscribe, and also check out all the other content as well on my channel, including this video right here.